Now, obviously doing what's valuable is going to be better for the world. You're going to do more good like that. But people have also thought for millennia that helping others is the secret to being personally fulfilled and happy. I've just got a couple of quotes here. Just read out the first one. "A man's true wealth is the good he does in this world." Today, we actually have hard data to back this up. Professor of psychology Martin Seligman, in his 2011 book Flourish, aimed to sum up the last couple of decades of empirical research into what really causes people to be satisfied and happy in their lives. And two of the key ingredients he identifies just are doing what's valuable. The first of these is achievement, or sometimes called mastery. And this means getting really good at something, working hard and getting good at something. And the second is meaning, also called purpose. And this means striving to do something greater than just make yourself happy. So it means making the world a better place. Put the two together, get good at something that makes the world a better place. Do what's valuable. And I think doing what's valuable has lots of other personal benefits as well. For instance, even if you work in a charity, the people who have the greatest impact do the most valuable things. And I've at least found in my own experience that if you focus on helping others, then lots of people want you to succeed. So it's actually easier to be successful as an altruist compared to just being in it for yourself. So it now turns out that actually the advice, follow your passion, just gets things backwards. Rather than start from what we happen to be passionate about now and then hope that success and a fulfilling career will follow, instead it's much more true to say that we should focus on doing what's valuable, and then that will lead to passion and a fulfilling career. Focusing on doing what's valuable has given me clear, concrete, meaningful goals, and that's made my life a lot better. There's no more endless reflection on which of my interests represents my true calling, which doesn't exist anyway. So, how can you actually do what's valuable in your careers? What practical steps should you follow? And this is what we spend most of our time trying to work out at 80,000 hours. I'm just going to give you a super quick summary of 3 things we'd say that you can do. The first of these is to explore. Learn all you can about the world and test yourself out in different things. If you want to do what's valuable, you have to discover that out there in the world. You can't figure it out just by thinking about your own interests. Secondly, go after some skills and try and get good at them. And these are skills that are really in demand and can be used in many different areas. I might pick computer programming as an example for the next decade. This bit is where your passions do come in. Thinking about your passions does come in. Because what you're passionate about now can give you clues about what you can get really good at in the future. So that's worth thinking about, but they're not the only thing that matters. And then when you get those skills, go and find the biggest, most pressing social problems you can and apply your skills to solving them. Don't just pick a problem that is important. Try and find one that's been unfairly neglected by other people, because that's where you'll have the greatest impact. And finally, don't think that in order to do what's valuable, you have to become a doctor and personally go to Africa and help people with your own 2 hands. Big social problems can be, and often are, solved by research, by developing new technology, by spreading big ideas. I think the idea that we should focus on doing what's valuable is actually a really intuitive one. I want you now just to imagine that you're on your deathbed and you're looking back at your 80,000-hour career rather than just about to start it. And picture to yourself 2 ways it could have gone. In the first, you say to yourself, I was good at what I did, I enjoyed what I did, I made a lot of money, now I have 2 houses and a yacht. But what was it all for? In the second, you say to yourself, I absolutely worked my ass off at a charity, and it often wasn't easy, but through my efforts, I was able to prevent the deaths of 100 children due to malaria. The first scenario happens all the time, but the second scenario is almost unimaginable. Of course, that was a worthwhile career. Altruism is one thing you'll never regret. If we really want to be fulfilled in our own careers, we have to stop focusing so much on our own interests and instead ask what we can do for other people. Imagine a world in which that was the thought on everyone's minds. So, to find work you love, Don't just follow your passion, rather do what's valuable. Explore, build skills, solve big pressing problems. And from that, fulfillment and a passionate career will emerge.
When I was at the University of Florida, for every home game, we would get in the bus at our hotel and we would drive right by the stadium and we would stop at what's called the Gator Walk. In every game I played there was probably 20 to 40,000 fans at this Gator Walk ready to greet us as we get off the bus. I would see all these people. I gotta tell you, there were a lot of voices that started to hit me. One of the first voices that instantly hit me was pride and arrogance, because I would look out and I would see thousands of jerseys with my number on it. I would look out and I would see Bible verses that they were wearing because I wore them. And so for a second you thought, dang, I'm something. They're here for me. This is pretty cool. I must be somebody. There's a picture that I stumbled across, and it's one of Time's 100 most influential images of all time. And it's the picture of this young girl. She's on her way from her village to a feeding center not far away. And she's so malnourished and she's moving so slow that this vulture is waiting to attack. So the young man that took this picture, I think there was probably something in his heart that he wanted to do good. He wasn't sure. So he captured this picture and he just waited, and then the vulture got closer. So he kind of shooed the vulture off, and then he walked away, and the vulture would come right back. And he was told, because of some of the sicknesses in the areas, don't touch anybody, don't do anything. And so he didn't. He didn't. He did nothing. Because apparently the cost was too much. So he left. He went back. The New York Times published this photo in 1993. In 94, he won the Pulitzer Prize for this photo. 4 months after this, he chose to end his life. You see, every single one of us, we have a chance to be successful in life. And you know what? I hope you are. I really do. I hope you're successful. There's nothing wrong with being successful. But success is just about you. But significance is about other people. You see, that man that took that picture, he had success. That's one of the greatest honors a photographer could ever have. But obviously it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. So what's going to be enough for you? You see, success is great. You can do a lot of things with it, but it's not going to be fulfilling. And you can never forget that sense of urgency, that it's not about your timeline, it's about their timeline. While you might have 30, 40, 50 years, they have days, minutes, moments. She had moments, but it wasn't worth it to go pick her up. It wasn't worth it to give her a hug. It wasn't worth it to tell her about the gospel. Yeah, I won a Pulitzer Prize, but what does it matter? What does it matter? It doesn't. And I think the greatest tragedy in life is we're gonna look back one day and say, I was successful in things that don't matter. I want you to be successful, but more than anything, I want you to be significant. And when you live for Jesus and you love people, I believe you're gonna have a life of significance.